You're better off elsewhere tonight. Oh.
866-277-4969. We'll go to the phones. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hello, who's this? Ron and Fez.
Hello, this is Iris calling.
Hello, Iris. What can we do for you?
Long time listener, first time caller to the show, and you boys are just fan-freaking-tastic.
I appreciate that, Iris. Thank you.
I'm just loving all the stuff that you're playing, music, and you're telling gags, and you really keep me interested.
Well, that's good. We have a good time here, and I'm glad you appreciate it, Iris.
No, I can't get on your website. What is the website?
Yeah, it's WJFK.com.
WJFK.com.
That's our website.
I can't get a link right now. That's the problem.
You're having trouble getting on the website?
I'm having trouble getting on the website right now. Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, maybe there's something wrong with your computer.
It's brand new. What I've done is I've taken a typewriter and I've taped it to the front of my TV set. And then I ran a wire into the plug.
Yeah, right there?
Yes, it's a wonderful show. I was really enjoying the double shots of music with Michael D. and Ray Wagner, the rollerblader.
Yeah, that was just kind of a smash or trash that we were doing.
Trash. They're garbage. They smell like garbage. Listening to them, it's like listening to garbage.
Okay, I understand.
And they're rollerbladers, right?
Yeah, well, Ray Wagner, Wonder Boy is...
You know the hardest thing about rollerblading is? You know the most difficult thing about rollerblading?
I would have no idea, Iris.
Telling your parents that you're gay.
So that's one of your jokes.
One of my lady friends told me that down the Jewish Center, and we all sat around laughing.
Well, that's good that you get out and you have friends.
The punchline is gay.
Yeah, so we all got the joke. We all understood that.
Could you play a laugh track after one of my jokes?
We don't usually do that here, Iris. Thank you, though.
You're really good. You're good show.
Thank you.
Which one of you's the faggot? I'm listening closely.
Neither one of us is. I don't know how these things start. Neither Ron or
You're
Ben.
lispy. I'll say that. You're lispy.
That doesn't mean anything, Iris.
I don't care. I'm not one to judge.
Well, that's good. That's a good way to be in life, Iris.
I got a neighbor boy that's a fag, and he's only about 5, but I've seen it coming.
Well, how would you even know at 5 years old?
Smells like, he wet his pants.
Well, you know, that's just an accident. That doesn't mean any sort of sexual preference.
I saw him crouch. He wasn't an accident. An accident if he was running down the sidewalk, tripped over a bush, hit his belly and wet his pants. But when you go out there and just try, yeah, that's no accident.
All right, but that probably doesn't have anything to
He
do...
scratched in the yard first with his feet like a chicken. And you call that an accident?
Maybe the child has some problem.
I heard him yell to his friends, Jimmy, watch me. I'm dropping mud. That's no accident, my friend.
But that has nothing to do with how he's going to grow up.
He wrote in his diary, tomorrow I'm dropping in my pants. You call that an accident?
It's starting to sound premeditated.
He's selling T-shirts on the car, on the road. This is no accident.
All right, Iris, I'm sure this didn't happen.
Got a joke for the Ron and Fed show?
It's Fez, but all right, go ahead.
The Fed and Fez show, excuse me.
Ron and Fez show.
What's the hardest thing about being a rollerblader?
I think we've heard this joke. What's the hardest?
This one's different.
All right, what is the hardest?
Let me do it from the beginning without you stepping on me.
Please.
We dump out of that and then pick back up.
Don't start.
What's the hardest thing about being a rollerblader?
I don't know. What is the hardest thing about being a rollerblader?
Telling your parents that you're gay.
All right, that's the same joke. That's the exact same joke you just told a minute ago.
But I didn't finish it yet. Telling your parents that you're gay like Fez.
All right, that's not even a punchline at that point. You're just making fun of me.
Question.
Yes.
Is your cat gay?
No, my cat's not gay. My cat, Fuzz Watley?
Yeah.
No.
But his name is Fuzz.
Yes, his name is Fuzz Watley because I'm Fez Watley.
What kind of a cat is it?
It's a gray calico.
And it's a boy.
Yes, it's a boy cat.
Do you realize all calico cats are female? Every one of them is female.
I have never heard that in my life.
So that thing is either female or gay. I rest my case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
There's no jury. There's no case to rest.
Wait a minute, I think I'm getting WJFK here on my computer.
All right, that's not a computer. You've tied a typewriter to a TV set and ran a cord across the living room.
God is my witness, it's coming in.
It shouldn't be.
Why would I have it put up here on the banner, the Ron and Fag Show?
It's Ron and Fez, and you know it, Iris.
You two don't miss many meals. Well, I gotta go, boys. I just wanted to say one thing to each of you.
What's that, Iris?
Call your mothers, because without a mother, you got nothing. In this world. I mean, we kid, and we joke about gay and kids dropping in their pants.
You do. No one else does.
But, you know, deep down inside, my kids never called me. I don't know whether I shouldn't even bring it up.
Your kids never called you?
Never once.
How many kids did you have?
5 babies.
And not one of them call you. Why not?
They were all stillborn.
Oh.
And I hear nothing from them.
Well, they're...
Not so much as a postcard.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to contact you. They're stillborn.
Yes.
There's not one of them that can dial a phone or drop a letter.
I tried to cheer them up. I go, hey, maybe you were dead, but you were stillborn. Well, I'm going to let you go, Ron and Fed. I know you got a lot of program in front of you.
Yes, we do.
Gay cats, all that kind of stuff.
We're not doing gay cats tonight, Iris.
It's a good show.
Thank you. I appreciate you listening.
And remember this, both of you.
What?
Sit-ups, please.
Okay.
Because you're going to need it. God bless you now. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you, Iris.
Thank you both. It's a good show.
Appreciate it.
My friend says it stinks.
All right, well, don't listen to your friend. You like it, so that's good enough for us. That's fine. You have a good weekend, Iris.
God bless.
Thank you.
I'm going to hang up now and listen to your response.
I don't think there'll be a response, but yes, you can hang up now. And enjoy the rest of the program, the last 2 hours.
God bless you.
Thank you, Iris.
Goodbye now.
Goodbye.
We clear?
Iris, you have to hang up the phone. There is no "Are we clear?"
Well, you're the fag.
All right, I heard that. It's the Ron and Fez Show.
Ron and Fez live on a Monday. Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing. Off the Grill podcast. Back at you on a Monday here. 6:42 in the East. So, what's crapping it out there? We didn't like the old Iris intro today, so I'll continue to do that for the rest of the time. Go fuck yourselves. A heck of a super wild card weekend in the NFL. Go Buffalo, advancing on a oddly refereed game, I'd say. But the Bills held on. They go next week at home. They welcome the Baltimore Ravens in, and oh man, Indianapolis kind of moved the ball up and down the field at will with the running game and throw to the tight ends. So, and if there's one thing that Baltimore's good at offensively, it's throwing to the tight ends and running the ball. And then they have Lamar Jackson, who's arguably one of the best throwing running backs in the league. You get it? Did you see what I did there? Wasn't that funny of me? And they got that J.K. Dobbins and whoever else, like Gus Edwards, and Mark Ingram. A good stable of running backs, and that could spell trouble for the Bills if they don't fucking get their defense right. So, what else happened? Cleveland put a shellacking on Pittsburgh last night, 35-7 at halftime. They ended up beating them 48-29 or some shit like that. Which works for me because fuck the Pittsburgh Steelers and anyone like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who's all out in the chat? Let's fucking sound off. Let's give the fat guy a little bit of a welcome. I know you're all still cranky because of Iris, but listen, till I figure something else to do, and sometimes I'm running late trying to set this fucking pile of garbage studio up, okay? You don't understand the work that goes into putting this up. All right? If you weren't going to watch live, you'd listen on iTunes, and it wouldn't be a problem. Granted, you still have to listen to it on iTunes, but then you can just fast forward. Can't fast forward live, baby. It doesn't work that way. But I don't know. I'm coming at you. I'm fucking digging through shit, digging through bad things in life. Namely, I can feel a migraine coming, so this one might not run an hour and a half like they have been, but I'll certainly try to get you as close as possible for your viewing and listening entertainment. Because I know you depend on me for just that. The hell other games were there? They're fucking awful Saints and Bears game. That I feel like they played 2 whole games. Fucking 120 minutes. It was awful. Drew Brees is done and should hang it up, as well as Ben Roethlisberger and Philip Rivers. It should be those games should be the last games they've ever played in the NFL. They're done. It's on to the new school. The lovely El Peso General adores the iTunes podcast, makes him aroused in ways podcasts shouldn't. Well, hey, listen. That's a common effect. I assume the El Peso General, who I totally don't know in real life, is a lady, because only the ladies should feel that way. Gypsy Warrior, Christian Hannah Horror, how are you? Good to see you here, hopping in. How was you guys' weekends? Mine was fine. I watched football. I had some wings. Decent wings, actually. Did some streaming with Zombie 7979. What's crapping? Everyone's filing in. There's starting to be a fucking party in this bitch. Let's go. Yeah, Piz and Lauren both fucking Christian watched wings and ate some football. You don't want to do that. That's not the way to go. What you want to do is the opposite of that. That's going to keep you alive a lot longer. Maybe just a little longer, but either way. Thank God it's quiet out there. I listened to the podcast after I threw it up. Unfortunately, after it was, already published. I didn't realize you could just hear a tiny fucking El Salvadoran girl screaming at the beginning. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the singer and drummer for the Scarecrow Show, Mr. John Ukinevich in the chat. Jonathan from Bombastic Reviews. What's going on? But it's pretty quiet out there today, so I don't think we'll be having any Ecuadorian or else fucking wherever they're from. I don't care. I'm out of here soon. I gotta say. Whew. Each day I fucking the urge to pull a fucking natural born killers and just fucking light a bed on fire. It grows exponentially. And of course, this is an entertainment podcast, so nothing I say should be taken seriously. If anyone out there is listening in perhaps the FBI or local law enforcement. Is this meat? Cheers. So this meat is a really, really old in-joke that all of us, I think, that are involved in it have forgotten the origins of. So I won't even attempt to explain, the origins. So, El Peso General. Football, Mexican food, and adult cinema. A wonderful weekend. And this is just my weekly reminder that El Peso General is addicted to pornography. Yeah, all protested my name. That's good. Storm the Capitol. But like the capital of fucking Idaho or something. Something small. We'll take over just the middle of the country. Bring heaters for the winter. Oh, no. Ash and Elena on Morbid, which is a gay podcast that a certain general listens to, will do an amazing job on your story when I murder the El Salvadorans. I don't think that's how you spell El Salvadorans, but we'll go with it. Am I an Alexis Texas fan? Gypsy Warrior asks. The answer to that is a resounding yep. I sure am. She's got the goods where it counts. It's a gay way to hold your hand. See, I was gonna get up today and think of shit to talk about, but I didn't. So I overslept longer than I wanted to, even to get the studio set up. A luxurious studio, and that didn't happen. So we're going to wing it again. It's going to be another fucking terrible one. I apologize for last week and preemptively for this week. But God damn it, I promised you a show. And this is new year, new sauce. We're going every week. Did I see the Clarice trailer? I think I did. It's a CBS show, right? Something like that. It's the CBS streaming fucking service that everyone has now. Isn't the gentleman now known as Elliot Stabler fucking what's her face playing a woman? Or is that a different broad entirely? I don't know. It looked like the human that fucking played Juno in the movie Juno from way back in the day. I saw a little bit of it, and mostly just couldn't think of, I just couldn't fucking pay attention to anything else but if that was her or not. So, to answer your question, I sort of saw it. It definitely passed my eyes, but I didn't really take it in. So, Johnny wants some NFL playoff predictions. I think that Cleveland goes into Kansas City this week, I believe. And unfortunately, I think Cleveland loses. But they got a shot. They definitely do have a shot. The best way to fucking beat Patrick Mahomes is to keep him on the sideline. And with that running game, as anyone that watched last night saw, they could do. Fucking with Nick Chubb and the fucking Hunt. I can never remember his first name. I think it starts with a K or an F. I don't know. But listen, don't shit on the Browns, baby. Don't shit on the Browns. They're coming in. They're ready, man. They did that to the Steelers. Now, granted, Kareem Hunt. Thank you, Slaughterport. They went into Pittsburgh and did that to Pittsburgh. And granted, Pittsburgh was kind of a fucking paper champion, one of the worst 11 11-0 teams in history. But they went in there without Denzel Ward at cornerback. They went out in there without Joe Bitonio at one of the guard spots, I think the left guard. And they slapped the shit out of Pittsburgh, so. Gypsy, this year, the most successful team in the NFL is, I think the Chiefs have the best record. I think they're 15-1. Followed by the shitty Green Bay Packers. Go fuck the Packers. Go fuck the Packers? Is that? I don't think that's the way that's supposed to go. Oh, Johnny's also telling me, speaking of the CBS streaming app, go watch The Stand. I've thought about it. I don't know if I'm going to. But I might. I also don't really want to fucking have to get the streaming app because I think I already did a free trial. And I think they're pretty good about not letting you just have another free one. They're pretty good about saying, no, we know you already. Don't worry about it. You just pay us and we'll let you watch it all you want. So, unfortunately, as much as I want the Browns to win next week, I think that Kansas City has it in a bag. Buffalo's going to beat the Ravens. It might be a close game. We might fucking blow them out. I don't know. It all depends. Their defense isn't, I don't think, is nearly as good as Indianapolis' defense was, and we beat them. We kind of just went down the field at will with them. We had a 99-yard. They had a 99-yard touchdown drive. I don't play for them. I shouldn't be using we. As Jess Graham goes, go Bills. Oh. We all need to be reminded the world is ending. The Browns are going to the Super Bowl. Listen, the fucking Browns make the Super Bowl this year. It might be time to invest in some kind of underground bunker. Gypsy Warrior asks, what team has won more Super Bowls than anybody else? And I believe Steelers are alone on top with 7. Right? No, Patriots have 7. Patriots just no. Steelers only have 6, right? Patriots have 7, though. I think. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I don't fucking know. I don't care. My brain's not working. Yeah, zombie. That's. I think that's old information. I'm pretty sure. Within the last, I think. As a matter of fact, with the when the Patriots beat the Rams 2 years ago, they went ahead of both Pittsburgh and Dallas. I could look it up, but I won't. You're getting my truth, okay? And that's just as important nowadays as anything. Facts are all subjective, okay? What I'm telling you is true to me right now. The fuck? What? They're just like fucking blowing shit up outside. Maybe this is the end of days now. We're not going to get a Super Bowl. What other games are there? NFC, Green Bay takes on the Rams. And I mean, the Rams defense is feisty, but that offense has no fucking no firepower whatsoever. You know, Cooper Kupp probably not going to play. Aaron Donald might not play. And those are two really, really, really bad things if you're the Rams or a fan of the Rams. So, Pittsburgh and Dallas are not tied, Zombie. I just looked it up. We're gonna do this. Pittsburgh and New England are tied at 6. San Fran and Dallas are tied at 5. I knew fucking Tom Brady had nosed his stupid fucking face in there. Although I like Tom Brady. And good for the Bucks. They beat the 7-9 Washington football team on Saturday. That was a real close one. With what essentially was like a fucking fourth string quarterback in Taylor Heineke, who apparently was immediately canceled after the game because, you know, I don't know. He's fucking spent all his time on Twitter screaming "Never Trump." Fuck Trump, by the way. I just want to get that out of here. Don't cancel me. I hate the cocksucker. I've hated him longer than any of you fucking people have. So get off my fucking back. Ah, boy. So there are fucking other brain busters there. I think I didn't answer anything. So we have Green Bay. And then Tampa goes to New Orleans to face the Saints. Saints look, I don't know. They looked fine. Like they won handily. You know, the fucking Bears only scored 3 points, I think, but they had fucking Mitch Trubisky in the game with no receivers. Like Trubisky didn't look awful in the first half, but I don't know, man. I think Drew Brees might be toast. I hope he's toast. I hope that fucking Tampa defense just eats him alive. Because I hate my quarterback hate list is three quarterbacks long. It starts with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. Then it's Drew Brees in New Orleans. And it's a rapist in Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger. So I'm hoping Tampa, but it's hard for a team to sweep, 3 games in a season, but I don't know, they just fucking I feel like both games Tampa came out with the same fucking game plan, which is all right, Tom, stay in the pocket as long as you can and just launch it down the field, which has never been his game, But if they run with the talent that they have in that offense, if Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers run an offense a little more similar to what he was doing in New England, they could probably carve the Saints up. Because the Saints' defense, their strength is their defensive line and the linebackers to, some degree. And yeah, so the quicker you get the ball out of Tom Brady's hands, less fucking the defensive line of the Saints can do anything to you. Get it down the field. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller, the tight ends. Shit, man. Rob Gronkowski and the fuck is the other guy? I can't think of his name, but he was supposed. It's not David Njoku. That's just Brown's tight end. Anyway, I think that's their only chance to fucking beat them, and I hope they do because fuck the Saints. But I think you're gonna go NFC Championship games. I think unfortunately are gonna be Green Bay, New Orleans, and then Buffalo versus the Chiefs. And you know what? God damn it. Super Bowl, as I said last week, I'm sticking with it. It's going to be Green Bay and Buffalo in the Super Bowl. All right. All right. Gypsy asks, here in the UK, soccer teams never move cities. When it happens in the States, is that hard on the fans? And then he clarifies, for sports teams, not just soccer teams. I imagine it is. I mean, Oakland moved to Las Vegas. The Oakland Raiders moved to Vegas this year. And it's not like they just move overnight. Usually, so it's usually with the Raiders especially. It was announced years ahead of time, and. Goodness gracious, that's gross. We gotta read this first. El Paso General, rest in peace, Julie Strain, a melancholy five-knuckle shuffle in remembrance of the penthouse pet and star of over 130 softcore Skinamax films of our youth. I don't know what youth you're talking about, buddy, but by the time I was born, she was about 86. Something like that. And folks, you'll have to excuse my voice this week. I know I'm a little throaty, a little nasally, perhaps. A fun weekend. That's all I'll say. Went to a ski resort and just had a real good time on a Friday night. Back to the moving of teams. Like the Rams. Now informally the Los Angeles Rams had a stint in St. Louis. The fans of St. Louis get real pissy, but let's be honest, if they were any, if most of them are any kind of real fans, they wouldn't be in fucking St. Louis, or they would still be the team would still be in St. Louis. Now sometimes it's just, it's the allure of a bigger market, which in that case, St. Louis and LA are, not even close market size wise. They're fucking St. Louis might as well be nothing compared to LA. In these times, Sauce, you're entitled to party. Thank you, Gypsy Warrior. That's the way I feel. But I feel like in the case of the Raiders, though, I mean, Oakland to Vegas. Vegas, I think, is a bigger market, but Vegas and Oakland aren't terribly far apart geologically. So, is that right? Geographically, not geologically, geographically. So realistically, you could drive from Oakland to Las Vegas and back in the same, on the same day with minimal interruptions. I know Cali traffic's not great, but you're not in Los Angeles, so pardon me. El Peso General, the question here. Yeah, he's sticking around. Usually he's dipping in and out and being a real CSer. Is the Colts moving from Baltimore to Indy essentially overnight the only real move that happened that sudden? Yeah, I kind of think so. The only one that is even close is when Cleveland moved to Baltimore. But that was, announced ahead of time. But yeah, Indianapolis, the Baltimore Colts in, I don't remember when. It was before I was born, so dates are not fucking that clear to me. They fucking more or less overnight packed up the entire facility into semi-trucks and 18-wheeler trucks and went right on down the fucking road and said, hey, we're in Indianapolis now. So, it's kind of like fucking trying to sneak out without fucking paying the rent kind of thing. But I don't know how that resolved itself either, like legally. But, yeah, that was terrific. And, it's Al Sussy from Russie popping in. What's going on, Al? Heard you took a little sabbatical over the weekend. He says, let's go Browns. I could dig that, especially going up against the fucking gay Chiefs. Yeah, those fucking Mayflower trailers. ESPN 30 on this is wild. Yeah. So, yeah, Gypsy, you can get your hands on that through ESPN Plus. I don't know if ESPN Plus streams over in the UK, but if you can get your hands on that somehow, some way, definitely watch that. Watch The Four Falls of Buffalo. That's a heart wrencher for a Bills fan, but anyway, a lot of those 30 for 30s are terrific watches. But Gypsy asks, how come cities they move to can't just create their own teams? Well, because our leagues, I don't know a whole lot about like your guys' soccer. It's all confusing to me. I just feel like almost every person has their own team over there. I'm sure that's not actually the case, but our leagues are, because of the way we play, like we don't play for points or any shit like that. Like wins don't count for points necessarily. So it's all about like best record, So we have in the NFL 14 teams, 7 from each conference go to the playoffs. And that's a tournament with brackets, and it's best team versus worst, best record versus worst record, and it kind of plays out from there. And that's more or less how it happens for every major sports league here. Coincidentally, I don't know how Major League Soccer works either because I don't watch it. I don't know. I never got into it. I never liked soccer. I tried to play soccer when I was real young, and I didn't get it. I didn't like the running, so I just went, no, not doing this. But, yeah. Jess says he's had it happen with semi-pro teams. He loves changing cities and names. And it is weird, like, a team leaves and it comes back or something else tries to take its place. It's not the same always, Like the Houston Oilers. This is an interesting one, I guess. Left in the early 90s to Memphis? I guess they were Memphis or Nashville first or some shit. The Nashville Oilers, and they were the Tennessee Oilers for half a season. And obviously, I'm being semi-sarcastic, but then they changed to the Tennessee Titans, as they're known today. And then Houston was left without a team. So flash forward to 2002, a brand new team was created out of the ether, the Houston Texans. And they are currently one of the worst ran promotions in the league. To the point where hopefully their star quarterback, Deshaun Watson, gets traded to my precious New York Jets. And that's right, fans. folks, listeners, whatever the fuck, whatever. I just call you friends. You're all my friends. I am a Jets fan first and foremost, but anytime the Bills are not facing the Jets, I'm all in with the Bills. I fell in love with the Bills later in life anyway. The Ryan Fitzpatrick, Stevie Johnson era, Chan Gailey at the helm. I knew when my heart broke and I fell to the fucking ground screaming and crying when that football was perfectly thrown by Ryan Fitzpatrick all the way down the fucking field and it just slipped through Stevie Johnson's hands in what would have been a game-winning touchdown against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I knew. But I can't give up the Jets either. I've fucking tried, man. They've been bad for 10 years. They're just awful with no sign of improvement. And I can't fucking move on. So. Gypsy says, "You're right, Sauce. Even the tiniest towns here have their own team." All right. And the Peso General says, "Imagine if we had relegation and promotion in American football. The Alabama Crimson Tide would move to the pros and the Jaguars would be in the SEC East. Right along with the Jets would be. They couldn't even get into a fucking college conference. They have to play independent like fucking Notre Dame. Except Notre Dame does it on purpose. Fucking New York Jets versus the University of Buffalo every week. Could you imagine that?" I don't know if it would make it more exciting, Gypsy, if we had relegation and promotion, only because, the NFL is it's full of men. I mean that, not like men versus women, but like men versus boys. In college, you're not fully developed yet. You're not training with other men, practicing with other men. Most college fucking kids you play with on a given college roster will not make the NFL, or if they do, they'll be out within a year or two. I think the average NFL career is 3 years. And as far as college football teams, the amount of them in the country is probably more comparable to the amount of soccer teams in the UK and in Europe in general. So, yeah, words. Shit, I don't know. I had a point. I always lose my point. I got to write that down as I'm talking. This is the point. Get to it, you fat fucking retard. So it might, kind of maybe on the top level, because a team like the Alabama Crimson Tide is pretty well coached. But again, if you put them up against even a middle of the road team like the Rams, the Rams will that defense would just cause that whole Crimson Tide offense to just quit. Pardon me. Penn State. I always pegged you as a Sandusky kind of guy. But Al also asks, what gives Eagles firing our coach? And that goes back to, I believe, the old General Peso man. El Peso General. I hate saying that over and over. I want you to know that. And I'm going to talk with you about that after the show. It's going to be a long, boring talk. But El Peso General brought that up earlier as well. That week 17, the Eagles and the Redskins. Oh no! I'm canceled. The Eagles and the Washington football team played. And, if Washington won, they made the playoffs. If the Eagles won, the Giants made the playoffs. Because the Eagles were out of it. No matter what they did, they didn't win enough games in the season to make it in. And the Eagles, I guess at halftime, decided, fuck it. we're not going to let the Giants get in. So, you know, they took out their starting quarterback and didn't put in the backup. They put in their third stringer. And he didn't do shit all. Like, they weren't really calling a game to win, even with even if the third stringer could pull it off. They weren't calling plays to do such. So basically, they threw the game. Without telling the guy, telling the people on the field, hey, lay down and just let them keep scoring. It was real bad, and it was a very winnable game, fucking all the way through still. But yeah, so. So let's look and see, because I lost the chat a little bit here. Where are we going? So it almost sounded like, but it almost seemed like in the aftermath of that the ownership in Philadelphia had told the coach, Doug Peterson, to kind of go with that and, bomb the game, get us a better draft pick, and then, we'll go from there. And then, which a lot of people said, you can't trust ownership. And lo and behold, guess what? You're fired now. So I don't like that, because he's the kind of guy I can see the piece of shit Jets fucking hiring. Not because he threw the game, just because I don't think he's that great of a coach, frankly. That team stopped really playing for him as soon as Frank Reich went to the Colts to coach the Colts. Daniel Peso General brings up, as far as a relegation and promotion, I believe, that it worked really well with baseball. Bring up a AAA team was insanely good and drop the Miami Marlins to AA ball. Damn! And Zombie7979 says, if I was a college player, I would try getting signed by Dallas to do nothing but sit on my ass and get paid. Well, I mean, you could do that with any team, really. If you're good enough to get signed, fucking, honestly, that happens with a lot of players. They get signed, and maybe they'll play hard through that first contract and get that second contract where the big money is, and they go, yeah, I'm good. I don't give a fuck anymore. Look what happened to Albert Hainsworth. Played well. He got his first contract. He started with the Titans, and then ended up getting a $100 million contract out of Washington. Oh shit! I forgot that game. I gotta watch that tonight. Yeah, the national championship game is on the college football. Ohio State and Alabama. I might potentially be watching one of the new fucking New York Jets quarterbacks. So definitely gotta watch that tonight. I think more than the quarterback, I want a couple of those receivers, either. I can't think of the kid's name from Ohio State, or literally any of the receivers off of fucking Alabama are great this year. Excuse me. So Gypsy says, as far as that relegation and promotion, the way it works with soccer is every professional team has an academy to grow and develop talent. They play in a reserve league. If you're promoted to a higher league, you get a bigger budget. Okay. So it's kind of like they just have bigger practice squads, it sounds like, than like the NFL teams and shit. So the better you are, the more players you get to kind of fucking, dig into, I guess. Al says he thinks Ohio State wins tonight, and I don't know if Justin Fields plays like he did against Clemson last weekend. You might be right, but I wouldn't count on it, man. Not against Alabama. Nick Saban's. If Nick Saban's gonna do anything, he's gonna coach that fucking defense, And I think what's his face, the quarterback, Mac Jones, is probably the best quarterback Alabama's had in a long time. So all that fucking receiving talent he's got at his disposal. He's got always has a good offensive line. The running back, I can't think of his name, but he's one of the top running backs coming out in the draft too. So it's gonna be iffy. I don't know shit about fucking college football, by the way. So, but pretty much every name I've seen, that they've talked about Alabama, they're like fucking top of their position coming out in the draft this year. And Jamie in the chat, shout out, what's up? Western New York, go Bills. And Gypsy's asking about long-term deals for players. In the NFL, the teams always want long-term deals because none of them are guaranteed. So it's like they've got them locked up for as long as they're good. And generally, most of those offers are backloaded. So most of the fucking big money is, given at the end or in a signing bonus. So where the player's a little older, than the team can just tell them to go fuck themselves, go play somewhere else. You're not getting the rest of this money. But yeah, no, I don't think that's true, Zombie. In the U.S., he says in the U.S., if an owner is dumb enough to sign someone for 7 years, they'll get injured in practice and sit through the years. I don't know what teams you're following, Zombie, or you think that's the case. And maybe that's baseball or fucking basketball, which not my forte. I know basketball are always they're always short deals, but they're worth fucking just stupid amounts of money because you're only really keeping about 10, 11 players on your roster, I think, at any time. But anyway. I definitely side with the fucking players over the owner. Owners any day of the week as far as payment goes. Jimmy says, "No way, Al. It's the Bills or nothing. And ain't that the truth? Let us the Jets. Sorry, I don't know." Peso General says Bill Goldberg is the worst. He kicked Bret Hart's head into the third row in 1999, and god damn it, did he. And then 21 years later, he showed Drew McIntyre. You said the wrong word, stupid. Essentially, Drew McIntyre was sent into quarantine with COVID-19. Fuck Goldberg. And that is true. Fuck Goldberg. Goldberg sucks. I don't know. I mean, that's a real big jump from football to wrestling out of nowhere. But yeah, I don't like this Goldberg shit coming back for no reason. Drew McIntyre's probably the best WWE champion that they've had in, since Brock Lesnar first grabbed the belt years ago. Like, since he beat John Cena at SummerSlam in 2014. Seth Rollins was a flop as champion. I'm sorry, but Roman Reigns as WWE champion is a flop. His current Universal title reign on SmackDown has been fucking pretty interesting to watch. Does the NFL have a period of time where players can? Jesus Christ. Does the NFL have a period of time when teams can buy rival teams' players out of their contracts? No. We do not have anything like that here. The closest we have to that, it's an iffy thing that no one really understands how it works totally, is that like certain players, I don't know, after their first 3 years in the league, sometimes players become restricted free agents. I don't know how the fuck it happens. But every other team in the league can offer them. Well, first off, the team that they're on currently has to assign them a value. So if they want to, they can tender them with an original round value, which is they're picked in the fourth round. The team taking them would have to give the team taking them would have to give up a fourth round pick and pay whatever salary they come to an agreement with for that player, and it's a 1 year deal off the bat, and then you would have their rights to re-sign them the next year. Or and then the values go up. You can assign if it's a guy you really don't want to lose, you could tender them with like a first round thing, but you have to pay them at a much higher rate for that season. Then Slaughterport is also sort of right. I didn't really think about this too much because they're practice squad players and they're not generally that good. But yeah, you could any team can sign someone off of another team's practice squad. Because the practice squad doesn't count against like the final main roster. And every team gets 10 spots, just to kind of help fucking stave off injuries for, everyone. You got other guys playing scout team shit every week, stuff like that. Gypsy says that Drew McIntyre supports the same soccer team as he does. That's cool. And look at that. Goldberg's fucking botching people anyway. Jamie, thank you very much. Have a great evening. I appreciate you stopping by. Always. Have a good night. But apparently the peso general meant shoved and not showed. But Goldberg made him botch because Goldberg is terrible at the professional wrestling. I think I'm actually caught up now. Son of a bitch. Look what you've done. Oh, God damn it. Well, looks like we got 6 people watching live. Shoot some questions in here for me. Let me fucking we'll leave that up for a minute. That's fun. A little smooch. Yeah, just leave a couple questions for the old boy. I know this was real sports heavy this week. I know it's not necessarily most people in the watching live anyway. Usually they're big forte, and I'm sure I made an ass out of myself. But I don't know. Sometimes it's good to not talk about horror because sometimes I haven't fucking watched a lot of new horror lately. The Glasgow Rangers. I guess fucking I root for the Glasgow Rangers. Let's go. Let's go Rangers. That's not Scottish, but I can't do a Scottish accent. So I'm not gonna try. Zombie asked me what my sport is, and I said my sport is the NFL specifically. But I can sit down and watch college football, but I don't have a team. I guess I sort of root for University of Buffalo, but those teams they're guaranteed to just completely change every year or two. Kids graduate and new kids come in, but at least in the NFL, there's the mirage of stability, with contracts and shit like that. And obviously, like I said, my team, unfortunately, deep down in my heart, is the New York Jets. They've made me very miserable the last fucking 10 years with very little fucking, very few bright spots. 2015, we went 10-6 and missed the playoffs. 2018, we drafted Sam Darnold, who we thought was going to be the fucking future and one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And it looks like he will not even be on the roster come final cuts this fall or 2021. So, I watch basketball, but basketball again, they fucking switched, ever since fucking LeBron decided to take his talents to South Beach. And even before that a little bit, I mean, admittedly, the Celtics did it first with Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett teaming him with Paul Pierce. And then they drafted Rajon Rondo. But if I mean, Toronto's the closest team to my hometown. It was cool seeing Kawhi. And I like Kawhi Leonard a lot. Like, he's kind of my guy. He's kind of a throwback player. He can play offense, and he's about the only fucking dude in the league that plays defense now. And also, I think he's a robot, so that's kind of cool. It was cool watching him win a title with the Toronto Raptors. But other than that, I don't really have a team. I like LeBron James too, which is both, a very common thing and also very uncommon at the same time. I don't get it. But I can't root for the fucking Los Angeles Lakers. I'm sorry. It's not happening. Oh, shit. Next you in the chat. I see you, bud. What's going on? Old Chris Pratt himself. Gypsy Warrior. The most ridiculous soccer team name in Scotland is one called, you son of a bitch, Auchinleck. Did I say that right? Talbot? Auchinleck Talbot? What the fuck? That's not even a thing. Those aren't words. What are you doing? What are you doing over there in Scotland? Get your shit together. Al, you're going to coach the Philadelphia Eagles next. Oh, that's not it. Popped up there. Al is going to be the next head ball coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. And they're going to be just as terrible as they would have been with Doug Peterson. No worse. He'll get them to the same fucking about 5 wins. But that's what it's going to be like for the next little while. Of course, I got to get this up here. So if you were planning a big Valentine's date and wanted to make her panties super moist, would you go with a puzzle by Terrell? It'll win her heart for sure. And of course, I would. I don't have anything brought up here, and we have no legal agreement, so I'm not going to go out of my way. But yes, if you know Terrell and you can get some nice flip-flops or sandals or a puzzle, he puts images on things, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe one day soon he'll put this stupid image behind me on a shirt. And after listening to that Ron and Fez opening with Iris, the lovely Iris, I think I got a nice fucking tagline. It was no accident. So we might we're going to have to throw that in there somewhere. Don't let me forget that, guys, because I do like that. Gypsy says his rivals are the Glasgow Celtic. Celtic is actually what you would say in that case. The NBA is a bunch of illiterates, so they say Celtics. The Glasgow Celtic, they had a terrible scandal some decades ago when they covered up their coach's child abuse. Yeah, that sounds like Penn State. Doesn't it, Al? Zombie used to enjoy college football video games because you could play as mascots, but that's about... But that was about it, along with the glory days of Blitz. Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't like those wacky football games. I fucking like to, as close to our actual simulation as possible. Of course, God knows Madden ain't fucking really that close to a simulation. It's kind of a dog shit game. It has been since 2008. But what are you going to do if fucking the NFL continues to give them, these sole rights to the simulation football game? So, or with the NFL license anyway. I mean, anyone can make a simulation game, but they wouldn't have the NFL teams in it. So, whatevs. Al, I'm no assistant. I couldn't help you. I'd root for you to get to that 5th win every year, but I don't like the Eagles. I don't like the NFC East, to be honest with you. Like, there was a time when I thought I was a Cowboys fan, but then they released Terrell Owens, so they can go fuck themselves pretty much from that point on. Fuck you, Jason Witten. I will not leave Penn State football alone. Oh, fucking A. They do actually pronounce it Celtic. Look at me being all worldly. I don't know, folks. Anything else? You got anything? This fucking headache's starting to really come into its own. And It's getting a little harder for the old fat kid to think. I got a song coming up for you at the end here. Another Scarecrow Show original. Oh, actually, I think this is a cover. This is a cover of theirs. Oh, man. I like to be a real dick someday and just dig out an old fucking, when I was in the band, when all our songs sounded like shit, and just blame it on them. Of course, I won't do that, but God, I'd love to. Oh shit! Then, well, fuck it. I guess I'll wrap this up, and if I get any questions in the meantime, I'll answer them and then send to that song and call it a day. So. Obviously, you can catch this again in audio form if you want on iTunes. Go over there, please. Leave me a review. Throw 5 stars on it if you think I'm a real sweetheart. I don't care. I just want to see reviews on there. I don't just fucking be as mean as you want to me and give me 5 stars. Shit. It's on Spotify, but I don't think they do reviews or anything like that. So just download it and fucking tell me to go fuck myself if you can. Anywhere else you get podcasts, I don't know the name of places other than Spotify or iTunes, or Apple Podcasts now. So scoot on over there, leave me a like on the stream here, maybe share it around. I've got a Facebook page for this show. I don't know any of the information of that. It usually is in the description. Pop over there, give me a like there if you'd like to. I don't care. Let's try to get me more likes on Facebook than Piz. Let's see if we can do that somehow. Where else? Up on Twitter at Cool Penis Handjob. That's KULPINAS HAA. N as in Nancy, JAB as in bitch. And of course, that's my name because, anything that's even remotely associated with steak or sauce now, or has any of my fucking, God damn it. Of course, anything on Twitter that even remotely relates to me now just gets it gets that account terminated. Now, Peso General popped me pretty good here. When I get podcasts from a guy named Jerome out of the back of a 72 Impala. I heard he's got good stuff. He's got all the bootleg podcasts and shit too. Gypsy says we have a team called Bonnie Rig Rose. And it doesn't get more pretentious than that, he says. I'd be liable to agree with him there. Corny. Speaking of Jerome, Corny's got a friend named Jerome that sells him drugs. We watched him do it on a podcast or on a fucking stream the other night. I've never seen a bigger bag of Ambien in my life. It's crazy. And he puts up rock fingers and 2 beers. I think that's a cheers. So cheers back, Corny. Zombie asks if I was in a band. I was in a band. I don't play an instrument because I'm not good enough. I don't have the fucking rhythm, and my hands are dumb. I don't have it in me to do it. I don't have patience to learn. So I sing. I sing pretty good, or at least I used to. Cocaine may or may not have ruined that ability. I don't have friends down here that fucking jam a lot, so only time I would even in theory get to jam is when I go back up to the Western New York area. And Gypsy asked my thoughts on the Snyder Cut. I don't goddamn know. I don't know anything about it. Haven't seen it. Don't know if it's out yet to watch. And he says he's also excited for Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm excited about that too. I've not watched either of their, the preceding movies that are leading to this Godzilla Kong excursion. So I'm going to have to get caught up on that. And at least on the Godzilla, I haven't heard anything on the Kong side, but at least on the Godzilla side, it sounds like it's going to be rough sledding to get there. If someone could tell me that it's really not necessary to watch them, I fucking won't. But I think with that, I will leave you with maybe a hearty Iris loves you.